Camera for Donny.
Go for Donny.
Sound for Donny.
Go for Donny.
Makeup for Donny.
Go for Donny.
Medic for Donny.
Go for Donny.
Grip department for Donny.
Go for Donny.
Production for Donny.
Go for Donny.
Go for Andy. Andy for Donny.
Go for Donny. Oh, Andy, it's so good to see you, and I love that you're calling for yourself, man. That's so cool.
I've been out of the loop for a while, but yeah, we're getting there.
Oh my gosh! So it's been like I don't know, 5, 6, 7. I don't know, 7, 8 years since we seen and worked together in the U.S. Is that correct?
Yeah, BC before COVID, 2019 maybe.
Ooh, wow!
It's a
Man.
cool year.
Yeah, it was a great year. So what we worked on was this fun internet project that Shell had. What was it called? The Great American Travel Hack?
Yeah, the Great Travel Hack. And then ironically after that one, we did the Great Travel Hack Europe, where we did from London to Turkey. So we did the other one. So yeah, there's still Turkey to China, I suppose, before we then jump back to Los Angeles to navigate the world. Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so that's happening. So I'll hit up Americo. Americo, I love that guy. Everyone on that project was so cool. I mean, I had such a great time with everyone. From the head of what is Americo? Some head of marketing, something for Shell.
Massive company.
Yeah, down to everyone from the production company and the ad agency, and then to everyone from you that looked after us, of course, because we're working like idiots. Just explain to everyone what you do, Andy, please.
So I work with TV shows and feature films and motorsport events, choreographing, coordinating, supervising the safety for anything involving cars on camera, I suppose, cars and motorbikes. I'm quite lucky. I get to play with cars all day.
And that's the bridge that we cross, how do they say it, is Top Gear, obviously, because I worked on the US version. Andy worked on the British version, and we have a lot of friends that we both worked with. And you know what? Everyone that I have worked with that is from Top Gear UK were amazing. They're great. Every single person that I worked with from your guys' show was great. So except for that Dan DeCastro.
It's kind of, I think when I did 18 years on it, and it's such a small, dedicated team. It's always the same group. And when you go on like a massive Hollywood feature film with like 1,000 people on location or something, I'm always quite proud of explaining to a line producer. They're like, how does Top Gear work? Like 20, 30 people, kind of. That's it. It just happens. Because it's just, you get the best people, put them together and let them do what they do. But yeah.
Yeah. No, it's funny you say that. We talk about that, about our crew and how the camaraderie, really nimble. We kind of shoot and move a lot. We have to make the day. So it's just a different breed of crew. And when they click, they really click. And I think at least our crew, we really clicked well together because it's just a different way of filming that we had to do that some people just couldn't wrap their head around. And how can you do that with such a small amount of people in a small amount of time as well? Yeah. But gosh, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of crazy stories, I'm sure, that you had in those 18 years from Top Gear.
Yeah, it was good. It was a pretty good time. Is there still Top Gear US then? Is that still...
No, I think, I don't know. I thought I saw something about all the Top Gears being pulled, that BBC pulled them all, to put a pause on them all. But it's possible that they're still doing it. If they are, it's with Motor Trend, with Rob, Dax, and I think Jericho. No, I don't know. But it's just not the same. It's a different time as well. I think when we were making that stuff on the tail end of what you guys are doing, it was just a different time, a different way of making TV, different type of overhead that you had. You still had to be safe, and we were very safe. We did some stupid shit, but we were very safe. But I don't think you can make the same show today.
No, it's all everything's changing. The last couple of days, especially, I've just kind of been really thinking about the past and recent years and how we can be going for like massive, huge. Like we did a 400 million feature film,
Wow.
and
Well,
now it's like just kind of the whole industry is changing across the world.
that's crazy. Any fun, crazy stories stick out at the top of your head from those 18 years from Top Gear?
Oh man, so many. It's kind of some of the stuff is you look back on it and it's just iconic, from back in the day sort of thing, working with these people and just being part of this massive, thing that just happened and just grew and grew sort of thing. I think we had like this really, really surreal moment when do you ever see when it was obviously the great Ken Block, who's so sadly no longer with us, but it was Ken Block and Matt LeBlanc around London doing the chase they did around London, and we shot that whole thing in a day, and it was probably one of the best days on set ever.
Wow.
Just walk down the streets, and we went down a little side road and hid just for a little bit. And it was like Ken, Matt LeBlanc, a couple of police officers who were escorting the car, me, a couple of us, like maybe 10 people. And this bloke came up out of a subway on his own, on his phone, and he stopped, looked, and he was watching a Ken Block film on YouTube on his phone. And he stopped, looked at Ken Block, and then obviously Matt LeBlanc's there as well. And he's looking at Matt LeBlanc, and he's like, nah. And he couldn't, a massive coincidence, just a huge coincidence. Everything had aligned at the same time. He was like, nah. And he was looking for hidden cameras, going, nah, this is a joke.
Some hidden camera show, yeah.
Yeah, because there's like Matt LeBlanc, Ken Block in the massive, the Mustang that he had, and it took him a while for us to explain. Said, no, we're doing some filming for Top Gear. This isn't just a massive coincidence. He was like, no, come on, do I? And he didn't want to go because he genuinely thought he was on a hidden camera show.
Oh wow, that's funny.
It's just a coincidence. So yeah, it's just so many surreal, strange, wonderful moments in history, part of my history. That's where all my friends are and everything. Top Gear was just a bunch of people that would just do cool stuff around the world, and happy times.
It sure was, and it's so funny you say that. I mean, I talk about how the guys from the crew are still some of my closest friends to date. How when we would be done doing a 2-week journey somewhere, you're knackered and you go home, and what do you want to do? You want to go hang out with your friends, and you're calling your friends who are the crew, asking what you're doing. So you spend the time with your friends, offset and on set, and it shows on camera, I think, and it makes it a lot of fun.
Yeah,
especially being away from home and from family so much.
Yeah.
To
and
have
visit
that second
places
family.
you'd never go to normally, countries you'd never go. Like I've always been fascinated with Ethiopia. Because Ethiopia is like the birthplace of humankind. The oldest fossils of humans in the world are Ethiopia. That's where humans began. Yeah, I would probably never go there. But yeah, a Top Gear shoot comes up in Ethiopia. And I'm like, I'm getting to go to Ethiopia and be paid to go there. And luckily I have a load of people with me as well. So that, because, it's an interesting sort of place. So it's kind of like good to have, a team with you. But yeah, visiting places like that is just phenomenal, amazing place. That was a place called Danakil Depression. It's the hottest place all year round on Earth. So
Holy cow.
Yeah, it's 55 degrees all year round is the average temperature there. It's like nothing else. It's kind of like, because I know that like Death Valley and stuff like that gets hot, but this is a next level of hot. This is opening a door and go, no, I can't get out. It's like an oven. It is bonkers. But
that's like we. I mean, I've been around the world on company dime as well. It's been great. In India, and we were in Rajasthan for a shoot for Renovations with Jeremy Renner, and I've never felt it as hot and humid and just disgusting and like just a weird, just punch you in the face type of heat. It was horrendous.
Yeah. I'm in that place, and I don't know if you had this before, but where you can't move fast. If you move fast, you inhale more, and you burn your lungs, you burn your nose with the heat. So you have to move slowly, so you don't breathe air in hard because it's going to burn the inside of your face. It's epic places like that. I love it.
It's one of the pleasures of working in the U.S. on such a small budget is that we filmed in so many deserts. all along the West Coast. So we're very familiar with that good dry heat. Which brings me to Moab, which every guest thus far on the show worked on an episode in Moab of Top Gear and said that was probably their favorite episode and favorite place to shoot.
Yeah.
But what say you, Andy? Where's your favorite place to film in the U.S.?
I love America. I love NASCAR. I'm lucky in the UK. I've got a firearms license in the UK, so it's quite a rare thing to have. I love American fighter planes. So many of my hobbies involve America, sort of thing. So yeah, I've been lucky to go over there a few times. Holiday wise, I love Florida Keys. I think Florida Keys is just a great place to go on holiday. But then filming the job that we did, that's a dream come true. I got to travel from one side of America to the other to see all of it. So it's just so cool. I think Los Angeles will always be a special place to me just because of what it is. Because it is Los Angeles. It's pretty cool. But then, I don't know, I think that job was just so cool because it was so many different places. I think there's just something, the times I've filmed in LA and I've heard someone call action and you're in Los Angeles and an American voice calling action, there's that little bit of me that's like, this is so fucking cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty, you gotta admit, that's pretty cool that the average person, they don't get to experience, They don't even get to see much behind the scenes, let alone see behind the scenes and what's actually happening on camera and the action and just the nostalgic of it all is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I can see that.
You might even know the place. It's an underpass in Los Angeles, and it's the same underpass where they filmed the truck heist on Heat.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And apparently around the corner is where they did the scene on Transformers, Terminator, when he actually comes up in the ball sort of thing, and Arnie's there. And ironically, I was watching Bumblebee Transformers. I mean, you watch it's the same bit. And when we filmed there, it's like you just know that part of Los Angeles has been in so many iconic movies. So for someone that loves America, loves the movie industry, and being there, it's just a very, very cool place.
I like going back and watching old movies or TV shows now and seeing parts of LA that they film in, and I'm like, I know exactly where they are. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so funny. Three's Company, even though it's a studio show.
I'll tell you a really interesting one. Bohemian Rhapsody, the Freddie Mercury movie. You've seen that?
Oh yeah.
So that movie, all the scenes on a road, including the road trip across America, the opening scene at the airport, the bit when it's Freddie Mercury on the roads going across once America, that is all filmed at the Top Gear track in the UK.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Every scene, and it's all just like the opening scene when he's at the airport. The background is all CGI, but that's the same plane that's always in the background of Top Gear UK.
Wow.
So,
they did a good job.
Yeah. I know that track like the back of my hand. So when I see every little bit of tarmac, I'm like, that's the background. But that movie, every road scene is Dunsfold.
No kidding. See, so you're lucky. I didn't get to do any of the track stuff. I just did B unit field shoots, but I always wanted to be a part of the track team. I thought it would have been cool to see them ripping around the track and just the studio audience. It's a different type of energy for the show.
Yeah, it's all changed then. I went there the other week for some filming with Ben Collins. He did some track film there. Obviously, the guy used to be the Stig, and it's weird. Half of the track now is turned into an entrancing. It's going to be a housing estate in the next few years. So the Top Gear track is. I think they're still doing all the planning permissions and everything, but the track is the runway is sort of like the end of the runway is gone now, and the track is getting smaller and smaller. It's going to be an interesting housing estate. It's going to have 2 jumbo jets in the middle of it all, so they're going to have a bit of it.
It's bizarre, yeah.
Yeah.
Like put a museum, a Top Gear museum in the middle of the housing track.
Yeah. But no,
people would pay money for it. Like Tanner brought up a good point. He was like, "Gosh, I bet people would pay money to do Top Gear vacations." I'm like, no one's ever done that before, right?
Yeah. Well, we were filming once, probably about 10 years ago, on the track at Dunsfold, and on the binoculars, and I'm like, "What's that over there?" And there's a guy walking across the grass, and I'm like, "He's got like a massive rucksack on." So we stopped the track. Richard Hammond was doing laps. We said, "Stop." We drove out to him, and it's this guy, and he's like g'day. And we're like, oh my God, he's an Australian guy that has travelled from Australia, and his dream was to visit the Top Gear track.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he's come across fields somehow, and Hammond pulled up next to him. Now, any other time it would be like, look, I'm sorry, we're filming, you've trespassed onto the track, you're going to have to go. But this guy, we're like, you can come with us for the day. So Hammond, he gets in the car with Hammond, comes and has lunch with us, and he's just having this guy, this traveller that just...
That is nuts.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That is a crazy story for someone to like think, I'm going to go and visit and do this, and then to be able to like meet Hammond and then like get pulled into that world all at the same time. I mean, wow.
And the chance that we were filming on that day, because you think that track is often empty all the time, and it was just a sheer chance, and he'd somehow come across fields, and he was like, no, I've gone travelling from Australia, my dream is to visit the Top Gear track, and Hammond's like, cool, jump in the car.
That is so cool. Oh my gosh.
Guy with us for the day. So yeah, super cool. I think he even stayed at one of the crew's house that night, and he came back the next day. So,
of course he did.
Yeah, a bit of hospitality.
Oh, that's so cool. I mean, we've never had anything happen like that to us. I don't think we've even like attached anyone on like a field shoot and like brought them with us type, you know, except at we went to a NASCAR race in Charlotte, and we were doing a bit at Redneck Hill. And then Rutledge was with us. And of course, he's Mr. NASCAR. You know, you walk around with that guy and everyone knows who he is, you know. And so we were, and we had a cooler, and some dude just latched onto us. And so I think we told him he had to pull the ice chest, this big old ice chest. So he wheeled that thing all around the infield while we drank and visited homemade RVs. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
But that's the only time we had a tag-along.
Yeah. I've filmed at Charlotte before. Last year, did a NASCAR commercial out there.
Oh.
And that place was like, because of obviously Days of Thunder and stuff, going there was like, this is so cool. We were filming for RFK Racing, and they were like absolutely amazing with us. They took us around their shop. They gave us like the full treatment. We were doing a Castrol commercial out there.
Very cool.
But that place is pretty cool, and you just remember bits of Thunder that are filmed there and stuff. So yeah, love it.
Yeah, no, we got to film there. So we went to a race there. We went to the infield. We did a bit with the homemade RVs on a short dirt track just down the street from Charlotte Motor Speedway. That was where I got to drift a 35-foot motorhome around a dirt track. Andy, it was like one of the best days of my life. I'm not gonna lie. Was driving around with one of the mud vehicles. You know, I have all these crappy cars that you get to drive, and they have flat tires, and they mat everything down. And so Gary one of our directors came out with the American flag, and it's a great shot of me driving around with the American flag. It was a proud day of my life.
Nice.
Good old Charlotte. A little bit of Charlotte, a little bit of redneck in me, but you have a little bit of redneck in you, because I remember when we were in Vegas, you were just itching to go and shoot some guns off.
Yeah. Vegas is a pretty cool place. It's every time I go to the US, it's great because the firearms out there, you can go to all different ranges, and it's interesting to see different states and different rules and stuff like that. The gun laws in California are like you can have, well, the whole thing around like 10-round mags. It's all very strange, but yeah, in the UK, where it's difficult for shooting, but it took me 3 years to get my license.
Wow.
Massively restricted on how it works and where the guns are stored and what has to be kept in armories and stuff like that. So, but it's there's a bit of it, but yeah, it's just bringing out the American in me a little bit. Yeah,
some states I think they give it to you when you turn 18, or maybe when you get your driver's license, you get a free gun. I don't know. I mean, they're always practically giving them away, you know. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, I remember you did have a good time. You were looking forward to that. But that was such a fun trip we went on. You're right. We got to drive through every state. Yeah. We started in Malibu. I mean, had a really cool mansion up in Malibu, and ended up in New York. And weren't you on the boat with us on the raft? That was Zodiac.
One of the best days of my life,
right? Wasn't it?
It was probably about 0 degrees, but because we're on water and we're doing, I don't know, 20 knots or something, the wind, we were dying on that boat. We were like holding our hands and just like, good God, this is nuts. That was so cold. That was December, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I tell you what, that would have been December the 17th. That would have been.
That sounds about right. We probably finished right before Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah. What was cool with that place, where we got on the boats as well, you know, that's the bit where they film the scene on Wolf of Wall Street, where the FBI come on the boat and he tells them to get off the boat.
No, I didn't know that. Really?
Yeah. It's a cool spot.
That was so much fun, though. Going out to under the bridge, going out to Statue of Liberty and getting to rip around that and take some great pictures. I mean, I'm pretty sure I got some good pictures of us on that Zodiac.
Yeah.
Just some happy dudes, and the guys that were running the boat were so cool, and we can get around so fast too. Everyone else was on some sailboat, just like tooling around, and man, we were ripping to the Brooklyn Bridge, to the heliport, to to Ellis Island. It was fun. That was a fun day.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to do some fun stuff on that.
Yeah. I think the strangest bit for me on that shoot, I think, was when we got to, we start off in Los Angeles and go over the Hollywood Hills and we get all that side of it, and then we did did we go down, did like Telluride and stuff, I think. But then when we
did Telluride.
Like Kansas, there's nothing there for days. It's just it's just nothing.
We got to Kansas, and then we had a stalled moment because the snow.
That was
in that car. I think it was some what was it? Some beautiful Roadrunner or Chevelle or something that you just don't drive in the snow. Yeah. So we had to come back and finish it. But yeah, there's nothing in Kansas really. It's pretty flat. Especially a contrast coming through from California through the high desert, through the Rockies, and then down to the flatlands. You're like, wow, it really is plain land. So
yeah, that's pretty cool.
And we did some Ohio. We did some dog racing, some sled dogs. That was kind of a fail in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. But the weird thing with Pennsylvania was everyone was saying to me, because obviously I'm overseeing like safety and stuff. In the UK, we don't have bears, and then people are going, there is bears in Pence, and I'm like, well, how big are bears? And then it's like trying to learn the whole thing around if it's one, I still forget to this day, and it's probably quite important. Was it, if it's one bear, you pretend you're dead? If it's another bear, is it black bear? Is the grizzly? Is that right?
Yeah, grizzlies will come and eat you.
That's
Usually black bears will go away. Brown bears are kind of sketch as well. But grizzlies, yeah, they'll come in and chew on your head. Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know. I mean, play dead, I think, unless it's a smaller black bear where you think you could be big and chase them off. Geez, I didn't think of that about the bears up there. Just the dogs. Just a failed attempt at the dog sled thing that we were trying to do. Yeah. And then the dogs got away too. Didn't it break?
But it was a one take shot. It was a load of huskies, wasn't it? It's like I said, the husky wranglers, like they're really excited. They need to run, and when we say action and they go, they ain't going to stop. So you've got one take at this. So I was about 100 meters up. And then we were like, they were attached to that sled thing through the woods. And suddenly it broke, didn't it? The first take. Broke. And the dogs don't stop. And I had a wall of husky coming. Shit. And we all tried to stop them. Those dogs didn't stop it. They just straight at the top of us. But yeah, I know it wasn't the shot we wanted, but if we were filming a comedy,
comedy ensued, especially with that dog camera on the dogs, when the GoPro on it that took off.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, that was funny. I mean, that was failed. I mean, there was no snow. I mean, it was just,
Yeah, the whole thing was an adventure. It's yeah, and that that house we started off at Los Angeles as well, up in the hills, was just stunning, wasn't it? It's we were above the cloud. Was it? We were up from PCH, weren't we? Looking down at all the clouds underneath.
Up in Malibu. Yeah.
Up
by Fishco or Malibu Fish Company, I think.
Right.
Yeah, beautiful. It was a house maybe run off of solar power. Maybe that's why we were up there, and it kind of tied into the whole eco challenge thing.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. But it was just, up there is. If a few times I've been to Los Angeles, I've just got a car, I've just gone for drives up around there. It's just It's epic. It's such a cool spot.
There's a lot of good driving around, unless you're in like a 30-some foot motorhome and you're trying to get to a lake and you're not looking to hit all the curves and corners. You'd rather get there and have some drinks. But what can you say? Hey guys, stay tuned for Go for Donny Switch Channel 2, where we're going to get a chance to ask your guests some more questions that you, the listener, really want to know, and that's about Andy. And we're also going to have this amazing car enthusiast named Max. He has some insane knowledge of all types of vehicles, so he's going to ask a few questions from his perspective as well. The catch there is he's only 16, Andy.
Okay.
He's only 16. Hey, so one thing I just want to ask about is camaraderie. I know I talk about it on our Top Gear. You touched on it a little bit. Do you think that, like, I don't know, I haven't really worked on many things where I replicated that. And it makes a difference on what is the end product, I think. And the end result are, so many close friends that you still have. Did you guys have that? Do you think you found that as well?
Yeah, definitely. And it's like, I've been so lucky that as my career has progressed onto other projects with Top Gear getting less and less, and obviously now no longer on, I've been able to get a lot of the guys I've worked with before onto stuff. So when we did like Gran Turismo, for example,
that's so cool.
Some of the drivers which we worked with, managed to get them onto it. And even I spent all last year on F1 Apex, the F1 movie that was being shot, the Brad Pitt one film. And
what?
Yeah, but a lot of the camera guys that are like in F1 are ex Top Gear camera team. So like, do you know Ian May? Do you know Ian?
Yeah.
Ian's filming for F1 out there, and it's just really. And then one of the tracking car drivers, Mauro. I don't know if you know Mauro.
I don't know Mauro.
It's like me, Mauro, and Ian. They're all like in an F1 paddock together, going, how is this happening? We're sort of like, we've gone from Top Gear and we're now all back together again. We even did a shoot. We did a shoot for Red Bull about 6 months ago for a Red Bull F1. And I loaded the team on that. It was one of the Top Gear first. Dan DeCastro was there.
Oh, the Peacock.
We're like, this is a little reunion going on. It's the team. It's, as you say, it's a camaraderie like no other.
Yeah, no, that's so cool. And it's great. I didn't know that. Dan didn't talk about that. We had Dan on with Rupert Smith. They came on as a duo to have some fun and chat, but I'll have to ask him about that when he comes back on. That's so cool. So we're going to have to talk about that. Definitely stay tuned for Switch Channel 2, where I'm going to be able to get some more answers out of Andy about his time with F1. But hey, Andy, I can't thank you enough for coming on. It's been a lot of fun catching up. I'm sure we'll get to talk a lot more when we're going to spin that dial and go to Channel 2. But until then, thanks, Andy. I appreciate you. You guys, thanks for checking us out. You can go to the bottom of the screen here and go to any one of these, Amazon Music, YouTube, Spotify. This is not only a audio podcast, Andy. This is also a video podcast. So we have that up on our YouTube channel at Go for Donny on YouTube. Don't forget, you guys, also to go to the website, gofordonny.com, where you can pick up some really cool things like this beautiful Go for Donny hat that I usually wear. They come in a couple colors, Andy, just so you know. And then we have sweatshirts too. We have sweatshirts, hoodies, everything stickers, so you can put them on your favorite coffee cup, or on your Pelican case and support the cause. So that's my spiel, Andy. Well, hey, thanks for coming out, man. I appreciate you. I guess you guys stay tuned for Go for Donny Switch Channel 2 with Andy. All right. Thanks, Andy.
Thank you for having me.
Cheers, mate.
Production for Donny.
Go for Donny.
Locations for Donny.
Go for Donny.
Habitat for Donny.
Go for Donny.
Hey, Donny, what the hell are they doing?